Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Tennyson E Stead, writer and director of Quantum Theory, founding member of Eight-Sided Films. Right now, we are at the cusp of a lot of changes for Eight-Sided Films as a company, and we're at the cusp of pre-production for Quantum Theory. And one of the things that we've been doing over the course of marshaling our forces and get everything ready for ultimately production is making sure that the business model that we have for Quantum Theory and the plan that we have for the movie is as strong as possible, so the investors are supported as they jump in and support our work as completely as they can be. And one of the ideas and one of the questions that has been knocking around my head over the course of this whole process, and something I want to bring to you now because maybe you'll have some ideas or thoughts on this, is the idea of taking licenses for the film, things that we can make money on and can hand to other companies and they pay us for the right to make money on, whether it's Blu-rays. The right to print Blu-rays and sell them in the United States is a license that you sell to a Blu-ray company, or potentially one that we exploit ourselves. All the overseas distribution is a license to each individual territory, right, where there's a distributor and they are the person who has the right to put that movie in their theaters because they paid us for that right. The right to make toys, or the right to make t-shirts, or the right to do this, or the right to that. Each and every one of those rights is something that you sell off and you make money on. We are a small company. Quantum Theory is going to be our first feature. There aren't a lot of people who know that we're out here, so probably nobody's going to be swinging in to make action figures for Quantum Theory anytime soon. It's possible that as we hit the festivals and then we hit theaters, Quantum Theory will be enough of a phenomenon that people want to exploit the project in their own industry and make money off of the name and the characters and the stuff, right? But maybe not. Maybe our job at Eight-Sided Films is to sell movie tickets. Most of us come from the theater. Most of us have a lot of experience making sure that houses stay open, that people are coming and going, and that the box office is healthy, and that you can get to the next show and the next show and the next show. So as business people, selling tickets is what we've been doing since we're 13. It's what we're good at. We're not going to rock that boat. We're not going to change that now. We're going to exploit the habits and the systems that we have knowledge of and that we have experience with and that we have mastery of. So, once we're finished with the box office, Quantum Theory should have established itself as a business venture. And the question then becomes, what are we going to do with all the licenses that we're not as strong in? Now, there's obvious places to put something like the video distribution. Obviously, in today's day and age, is probably going to go to companies like Netflix and Hulu. And if we've had a strong theatrical run, there's no reason why those kinds of licenses wouldn't be sold to those kinds of companies. That's not for certain. It's not anything I can put a guarantee on, but that's how things are typically done today. Okay? So the question that I've been asking is there enough demand within our own entertainment community, our own geek community, to sell these licenses off in much, much smaller, non-exclusive parcels to just people within the community? Are there enough people out there who would want to show Quantum Theory to their friends, or would want to show community to the show Quantum Theory to the communities that they're developing and the audiences that they're developing, because they're show people too, where we could make more money selling, $500 licenses so that people can put the movie on their YouTube channel and have it to show the people they want to show, than it would to just sell it, the whole deal, to one or the other of these licensing companies. Would there be enough demand as we get out there in the geek community, to sell the merchandising licenses? Are there enough people on Etsy making crochet geek culture products to where we can turn around and sell them the right to use quantum theory in their business, and they turn around and they show us a prototype and we approve it and they put it out there? You know, are there enough people making action figures using their own, you know, manufacturing processes, you know, buying the plastic and making molds and developing action figures in small batches, you know, to the extent where it would make sense to sell a merchandising license like that? Is there enough support, and is there enough kitchen and cottage industry in the geek community to support the merchandising or the distribution of a feature film? That's what I'm asking. And I don't know the answer. It's an intriguing concept to me, because if that worked, if that's something we can do, then we can turn right around and put quantum theory right back into the community that supported it. And instead of making bigger companies stronger, making a t-shirt company stronger, like even something like Hot Topic or Box Lunch, we can turn right around and make our community stronger and make the people that have supported us stronger by giving them the tools to use our success in their business. My distributor is calling the concept micro distribution, because we're selling little tiny licenses. Instead of selling all of the streaming to Hulu or Netflix or whatever, we'd be selling the streaming to anybody who wants it on a non-exclusive basis for a much, much, much smaller cost. And then essentially crowdsourcing the what's called ancillary markets of the film. The primary market for us being the theatrical market. So everything else is ancillary to that, the ancillary markets. I think I've explained the concept. If anybody has any questions, please ask. But, you know, at this point, we've talked about it as a group of producers. It doesn't quite seem viable, which is why I feel safe discussing it on the channel. But it's one of the things that I've been discussing the other producers of quantum theory, and it's a really intriguing idea to me, because if it did work, then it would empower all the people that have supported us to turn around and use our work to bring eyeballs to their YouTube channel for a cost that they can actually afford. That to me is exciting. And then on top of that, you know, it turns around and it gives the geek community the chance to go ahead and make all the stuff that they want to make, express themselves creatively around the film, and sell their t-shirts and sell their products and put it all out there, you know, and enrich themselves and bring people to their websites instead of drawing everybody out of our community and sending them to some other vendor or some other. That's what I like. And again, it's an idea that I've started discussing with my attorney. It's an idea that I've even started discussing with some of the unions that we would need to pay residuals to. And you know, across the board, it's a concept that is striking people as potentially valuable. But how do you implement it? How do you make it work? So, and I don't have those answers. And it may be that quantum theory is enough of a challenge and enough of a risk and there's enough moving parts just making a $104 million movie with no name cast and the support that we have, that maybe we don't want to take on too much with the first project. Maybe this is something that develops over time with 8-sided films as well. But it is something I'm thinking about, and it's something I figured I would discuss here on the blog. So, if you have thoughts or questions, please let me know, because I'm eager for solutions. And I would definitely love to undertake some kind of, if there's a way to even gauge whether or not something like this would be possible, I'd be intrigued. It all started because I was looking for, I was racking my brain looking for crowdfunding. What's the word I'm looking for? It was a much smaller film, crowdfunding perks, to put together a movie for $100,000 or $200,000, and it seems like you probably could pull together that kind of money for the project in question using those kinds of tools. It was an intriguing idea, and at the same time, quantum theory is moving forward. We need to push ahead with quantum theory. So, can these ideas be translated into a larger film? I don't know. Your thoughts? Thank you for watching. If you like these videos, please give us a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe because we're going to have pre-production information coming in the very near future on quantum theory, and I don't want anybody to miss out as we finally start getting this movie rolling forward. And thank you and have a great afternoon. Take care. Bye-bye.